Hello everyone, this is Greyshot17 here, bringing you something different today. Today might be either one really long video or a bunch of shorter videos in a quick series detailing the abilities of Company of Heroes 2. This is something that was made, and I want to make sure, again, I get this, by Planet Smasher. And this gentleman is a member of companyofheroes2.org. This is a website that you can go to get all your information regarding Company of Heroes 2. This is where I get a lot of my info. I get some replays from here, etc. You also get some highlights, stuff like that. It's a great place for the Company of Heroes 2 community to just reach out and talk to each other. The big thing I want to say about it is they released a new, essentially a description on every single, every single ability in the game. So in case you're wondering or you don't have an idea what that is, if we look to see here just at the picture itself, that would be like the sprint ability, the For Mother Russia ability, mark target, from every single faction. Now depending on how much detail we go into this on, it might be multiple videos. I'm gonna kind of keep track, but my goal is to kind of go over each faction's special abilities so you guys have a better idea of what they do and how much of a impact these abilities can have in the game, which might help you out, so that way if you use them, it can be like, okay, I know it's gonna do this much to my unit. So in a capacity, let's get to it, shall we? But yeah, so right here it goes into, like, again, kind of shows you that this is going to go into all the abilities and just some notes and FAQ about some of the other ones. So let's get to it. So right now we're going to start with the Vermach. The Vermach, again, just base first one, and let's get to it. So the Vermach, it has, of course, with infantry, so we're going to go through a bunch of infantry abilities. So first one's a sniper. This is the sniper explosive round. This is the special ability you get at Vet 1 for the sniper, and again, you get targeted infantry model dies, again, because it's one bullet for one shot on the either, I think it's usually between 4 and 6 man squads, and if you knock out the last one, it's GG for that squad. Adjacent infantry models in a radius of 3, I'm assuming 3 meters, either have their weapons disabled for 4 seconds, 95%, or burned to death in 5 seconds, for 5%. Well, that's nice. Oh boy. And then a targeted light vehicle is dealt 50 damage if the shot penetrates. Though, I'm going to make the assumption that you could probably, if it pens or gets through, you could probably maybe do some damage on the rear of a heavier tank to knock it out. So just a little bit, it will do a little bit of damage to it. Now, fire incendiary armor piercing rounds, it's plus 100% damage and plus 9% penetration. Again, you've instantly seen once this is activated, or plus 9 penetration, it just instantly knocks out scout vehicles. The reload cycle is initiated when the ability activates. This reload is 50% faster than normal. So that's cool, because when you activate the ability, it always changes the clip. At least you know it's quicker than the other clips. So this is, again, really cool to see. Field, first aid, again, target infantry is fully healed within 20 seconds if stayed out of combat, so at least you know now how long it takes, which is, again, just a little bit of added, like, knowledge for a lot of these abilities, kind of get you in track. So if you heal something, you know, okay, it's going to take this long to get it back up. Tactical advance, for 10 seconds, the squad moves slowly. They gain 150% burst length while moving, plus 50% accuracy, plus 50% received accuracy, not canceled by retreating. Okay. So I guess the idea for that maybe is when you retreat it, like, again, you could quickly, no, it would probably, no, unless you were like right there, it would probably be removed. But that's a pretty decent buff for a tactical advance, so not too bad. Combined arms. Okay, so this is usually, and again, it kind of shows you how they use it. So base infantry, MGs. This is stormtroopers. This one's Panzer Grenadiers with the combined arms. Passive ability: Panzer Grenadiers gain minus 10% received accuracy and plus 20% speed when near vehicles. Okay, that's wow, that kind of sucks. This is a passive ability, but having. Oh, wait, no, received accuracy is on it. Okay, never mind. It's, I'm assuming hitting it, and playing 20% speed. Sorry, I thought they were getting a negative decrease. I'm like, wow, that kind of sucks. But no, it's actually just 10% accuracy on things trying to shoot them. At least that's what I believe received accuracy is. Mark target. Again, that's on infantry. I'm assuming this would be on the officer ability. Also, Panzer Grenadiers, it looks like, have this ability. So Panzer Grenadiers can mark hostile infantry enemy and will take plus 30% received accuracy, while the Panzer Grenadiers will take plus 15% received accuracy. Okay, so they'll take a little more damage, but the enemy will receive more damage. Okay, and that does make sense because, again, this one's -10, so it's harder to hit, while +10 is easier to hit. Okay, and then sprint is squad will move faster for 5 seconds, and that goes with any infantry unit. Again, grenadier, stuff like that. And this ability would be similar to, was it the, trying to think of the name of it, stormtroopers that you can run. Oh, no, sorry, not stormtroopers, assault grenadiers that you can also move through. Diversion, again, officer ability. For 15 seconds, the officer squad fires 25% more accurately on the move. So again, I guess keep things moving. They also gain -20% received accuracy, so harder to hit. Nice. Spawning scope. Yeah, this is for scout cars, but at least you know it's a +40% sight increase. And all their vehicles, that's for the scout car, because I'm assuming the scout car is just so good with its already radius that, especially once you get that 2, it just exponentially increases it so far that you really don't want to give it a +100%, because that would be insane. But all the vehicles is +100% sight radius while stationary. Okay, that makes a lot of sense. Infantry awareness reveals all enemy infantry units in a radius of 70 on the minimap. Again, like I said, I'm assuming it's 7 like meters like on the map, on the minimap for 20 seconds. Okay, so this ability would be something like the scout car, and you can see it here with the half track. You activate it, you can see on the minimap the targets. It's similar to like the OKW with their half track, but or like the Overwatch doctrine that you get natively or something. I'm assuming something like that, or the Kubel. Anyway, dig in. Immobilizes the half track, but reduces damage by 50%. Okay, so it does reduce damage. I'm actually surprised at 50%. I thought it was a little less, but okay. Increases range by 10 and grants moderate weapon suppression. Okay, so this like half track that you've seen with the Wehrmacht, where they can kind of set it down and activate like a mobile bunker, that does add a suppression, that does reduce damage, and that does increase its range. So something to take note of for that, because that actually makes it pretty damn good. Hull down becomes immobile, but receives -25% damage and gains 25% range. This is really nice because I always wondered how much this actually affects a hull down unit. So you get a quarter off, but you gain +25% in terms of like distance in the shots. Which if you add this to like an elephant, that would be insane, especially for like -25% damage, because that thing could tank a lot then. So that's, again, good to finally have some stats on that, or at least in a list. And again, I'll add a description down below of this, so if you want to go to yourself and check it out, you absolutely can. Blitzkrieg, so -25% accuracy received, so harder to hit, +35% speed, so faster, +60% acceleration, so I'm assuming, again, from 0 to 60, aka moving, while moving for 15 seconds, and this is for the Ostwind and the Panzer IV. Now, the Panther and the Tiger get -20% received accuracy, only a 15% speed increase, which kind of makes sense. Originally, it was faster, but they kind of reduced it because they realized, oh, shoot, this thing is moving way too quickly. So, yeah, that kind of good thing in that regard. And now, also, we have a +30% acceleration for 15 seconds. So, okay, it's about half, except for the received accuracy. So, both are equally harder to hit, just the medium armor moves incredibly faster than the heavy armor, which makes sense because it's heavy armor. It shouldn't get a huge speed increase. And again, that's for all these armored vehicles. Target weak point, again, this is something on the Pak-43, the Elephant, the Pak-40, the Stug has it. I guess this, wait, is that the Stug and Stug E? Okay. Oh, and the Puma has it, but it's weird. I thought the Puma, it's a target weak point. I'm sorry, I'm an idiot. It's a critical weak point hit, but I guess it's a very similar ability for the Puma on the Wehrmacht side. All right. So, let's see. We get, for the Pak-40 and the Elephant, we get +100% penetration will stun enemy vehicle. That's a pretty much a guaranteed hit at that point. Oh, wait, no. Wait, is that Pak-40? Or is that Pak-40? I'm assuming that that's the Pak-40. I'm sorry, 43, and this is the Pak-40. Plus 900% penetration for 10 seconds. Hits disabled vehicle for 5 seconds. Okay, so I guess because these are already have so much penetration, it does make sense it would. Penetrating shells will stun enemy vehicles. Disabling its gun for 5 seconds will always penetrate. Okay. I mean, I guess this will always penetrate. These is just 99% chance it will penetrate, I'm assuming. God, Like, if you have a moment where you get hit with a Pac 43 shot with an allied vehicle and it bounces, I really want to see that. I am so curious. Like a Sherman tank somehow like bouncing a Pac 43 round. I've never seen that, but that'd be funny. Or at least maybe I've seen so much Company Heroes 2, I don't remember it. Plus 100% penetration will lock enemy vehicles turn temporarily and disable its main gun. That's with the Stug. Okay. And penetrating shells will stun enemy vehicle. Okay, that's what I'm talking about. Disable its gun. Specifically that. Because usually, again, it doesn't stun it. It just makes the gun unavailable. And it looks like that's exactly what it does. Will always penetrate with the Puma. And also does a bit of damage. As long as this one will do damage. Okay. I guess these ones will not. It'll just stun. Bunker busting barrage. This is with the Brumbar. Barrage ability 3 shots will increase its range. And also will have half the reload time. Okay, so it's a special ability you can use with the Brumbar. It can fire a little farther, so I guess if you're trying to get rid of a fortification or emplacement, you can give it just that slight edge. Alright, so now we're in Auroras and Commander abilities. So these are like for the commanders that you pick for the units. So all the ones we just picked, Target Weak Point, Blitzkrieg Assault, like these are special abilities you typically get with the units themselves. And these ones, I guess, are just special abilities you get with the infantry natively. Because yeah, you get sprint with like assault grenadiers and diversion with the officers. So yeah, all this stuff is just native in the game. You don't need a commander. So if you don't have the commander, all these abilities I just went over, you should have in some regard. Some not so much, like hull down. I'm assuming you would have to do it inside. So I'm actually kind of curious, but maybe, yeah, no, that doesn't make sense because hull down you wouldn't get. Dig in, I get. But that's also like that is curious. Okay, because that's a call ability for a unit. I don't know. You know what? Screw it. Maybe it's because the ability is with the unit itself and not with the actual call-in. So you're not getting a new tank, you're getting a vehicle, and that has the special ability, so it doesn't list it. Okay, that makes a little more sense, I think. Concentration fire, so friendly infantry in a radius of 20 around the officer receives increased accuracy, and when it reaches level 3, it receives even more, 10% more. So, but good looking after vet 3. Friendly vehicles in the same radius reload 13% faster. Holy God. When the officer receives veterancy, it's now 25% faster. So if you... If you added a bulletin for like quicker reloads on a Panzer IV, and you have this, and this is for concentrated fire. Okay. That could be pretty damn quick. That's, wow, okay. Tactical movement, again, this just increased speed. It doesn't really say for how much, but essentially just a sprint. And the sprint that we saw up here was... Oh, it doesn't even say how fast it is. Okay, that's weird. You figure it would. So, counterattack tactics. For 60 seconds, all owned units will capture neutral territory 3 times as fast. Okay, it's 3 times faster. Good to know. Also, this is with the mobile defense commander, I want to say. Tactical movements in a couple. Concentrated fire. That one's I'm blanking on. I think it's infantry. I could be wrong on that. I'm probably wrong on that. I believe infantry is on a lot of them. Yeah, Ostrupen it's mainly used for and for infantry. And that's, again, for 60 seconds, an Ostrupen squad will spawn for every 5 infantry models you lose. You may receive up to 3 squads. Actually, that helps because the description on it, not as intuitive as I may like. But that is really cool. So, okay, you get 3 squads infantry for every 5 models lost. So, I'm actually curious. So, if you lost 5 models off the course of, let's say, 3 units, but the units didn't die. Let's say 3 grenadier squads. You lose 2 models each. That's 6. You get an Ostrupen squad. Essentially, you got a free squad for losing half the manpower. Okay. I could absolutely see that being... not abused, but definitely manipulated so you get more units. That's again, with knowing that now, that makes a lot more sense. That's pretty damn good. All right, assault and hold, increase the accuracy of all infantry by 25%. Okay. I'm sorry. This one is definitely with the infantry commander. I remember the picture. Alright, so that's cool. And capture rate is increased by 100% for infantry squads. That's great. That might be good for especially like last-ditch efforts to try to capture territory. It does increase speed, though, but I don't think it really matters if you can capture the point like that. Anyway, we have ambush camouflage, so the squad gains the camouflage ability. Plus 50% accuracy for 5 seconds out of camouflage. Okay. So, again, that's a nice little ability just for a little extra bonus when you're, again, coming out or just ambushing. So that's good. And Panzer IV command tank. Okay, so this one, again, nice to know. Friendly units in a radius of 45 meters, I'm assuming, around the tank take 20% damage or less damage. That's interesting. Because I always thought this is going to sound incredibly stupid. I apologize. I thought it increased the armor by 10%. I didn't know it actually reduced friendly units in radius take. Yeah, it does. It reduces it by 20%. Okay, that's interesting. I always thought it was a 10% aura increase. So that's good clarification if this is correct. So this is both on infantry and armor alike. So if it takes 20% minus damage. I mean, that would explain why when people use command tank, it does take an extra shot or two to take something out. So, again, for further clarification, that's really nice. But that's apparently all of the abilities for the Wehrmacht. And that took me, what, about 10 minutes to get through? So, I think I can knock out the rest. Yeah, let me just, have a drink, relax, and scroll down to the American. All right. So now we're on America. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. So America has the, we're starting off with the infantry. And these are abilities once again. And again, I'll try to put in the description points at each one. So of course, if you want to just skip to your favorite faction, you can do that. But in any case, we got infantry with the smoke grenade. Again, smoke grenade prevents smoke so the enemy can't see you so you can advance. Each enemy vehicles will have 0 sight and for 50 and minus 50% speed. That actually might be a benefit, and just hear me out, because I didn't know about the speed thing. Again, I've played this game for years. I don't know the little tiny details, and this is just a good refresher to be like, oh yeah, there's that. It's nice to learn things about a game you've been playing for like 5, 6 years. But in any case, the speed thing you could probably use to slow down an enemy tank trying to escape, just off ball. And then when that happens, you can then get your tank around to go around the smoke and hopefully catch up with them. So this will last even when the vehicle backs out of the smoke. Okay. I'm curious why it doesn't say units wouldn't have as well any would lose vision. But again, we know it's by the echelon. We know it's by it's the captain and the lieutenant and the major. Wait, they all have smoke grenades? Huh. Okay, that's weird. And it says cavalry. It says cavalry riflemen as well have it. I don't recall them again, maybe I'm just a change or something going on, but that's interesting. Tactical movement by paratroopers and Thompsons. What has Thompsons? I'm thinking. Do they get it with it? Squad moves that reduce speed plus again increased damage and accuracy. But you get plus 50% received accuracy, so you're taking more damage as well. So it's a risk-reward scenario. Fire up. This one is with riflemen. Sorry, not riflemen. Rifle company. You get riflemen, which get a buff. Squad sprints for 10 seconds. And then debuff. Squad moves slower for 8 seconds afterwards. Okay, this is just me. I do wish that other debuffs were in for like the sprint ability for the Wehrmacht. That would kind of even things out. Maybe it's just because it's for 5 seconds you get a sprint or something. I don't. But yeah, that would be nice to have some debuffs when you like boost up your infantry to be like them kind of recuperating. I don't know. That's just me. Suppressive fire minus 75% cooldown, plus 1% suppression, and plus 200% burst length. Okay. This is with paratroopers with the LMG. Okay, so you get tactical movement when you get the Thompson. And you get, with the LMG, you get the suppressive fire. That makes sense because you're essentially firing already a machine gun. It's a lighter variant, but still. So having an ability to slow stuff down, pretty good. Supervise, probably an ability that no one ever uses, at least from my eyes. But yeah, you can essentially increase the speed of production if this thing is back at base. Yeah, it's nice to have. It's nice to use. The big thing about it, and this is just me, is the fact that, and again, just me on this. I typically people use it on the front, and unless you're really trying to pump something out, like you're really trying to make sure you get like an AT gun or something. Yeah, curious indeed. Because again, it's just like, it's 300% production, so that's a huge bonus. But I can't think of it. I mean, like the major would probably be the only thing I could think of, because that takes a while to get out. So, anyway, armor piercing rounds, plus 25% damage and plus 10 penetration. So it's a little different compared to the armor piercing rounds of the what's it called? Of the MG42. This one's with the 50 cal. A reload cycle is initiated when it activates. This reload is 50% faster than normal. Again, same thing like the last one. Critical repair. The squad will actually, hold on real quick on that. It's plus 25% damage and plus 10 penetration. I need to test this to see which one kills armor faster. That'll be good to know. Because I swear I thought armor piercing rounds in the MG42 was a little bit quicker. Anyway, on me, designed squad will retreat to the captain and lose suppression. The target infantry unit also receives plus 20% accuracy and minus 20% received accuracy for 8 seconds. So remember, this is on captain on any infantry unit, while critical repairs on rear echelon. Not rear echelon. God, wait, is it? No, it's on assault engineers and yeah, rear echelons. No, wait. Vehicle repair crews. That's what I'm trying to say. Vehicle repair crews. Let's see. We have. Okay, so that's nice, and that's. I skipped that. The squad will quickly fix a single critical and heal for 15 hit points. Okay, and they will have plus 200% received damage plus 200% received accuracy in the process. Essentially, like, if you do this ability, they're gonna get hurt if they're under fire. So don't do it while you're under fire. Okay. Now we have covering fire. The cavalry rifleman squad will have minus 90% accuracy, minus 90% cooldown, plus 20% burst length, and minus 75% weapon reload time. Holy cow. Okay. The targeted infantry unit receive plus 55% accuracy penalty and are reduced to walking speed for 11 seconds or until the ability ends. Ability disengages when the unit moves. Again, the idea behind this is essentially like you're trying to make sure the enemy can't hurt another unit. But that being said, don't expect for you to even hit that, because essentially you're just hitting in a blind area to make sure he stays pinned or in a certain area. Kind of makes sense. And this is with the cavalry, riflemen, and some other infantry. Okay, that's fine. 75mm barrage. We get a plus 100% range and target ability. Yeah, so it increases how far you can get with that low barrage ability on the howitzer. Now the mortar, again, the mortar howitzer, sorry, the mortar carriage that kind of like moves around and fires the mortar shots. You get plus 20% range. Can be used on the move, but only if the target remains inside the range. Okay, that's cool. I didn't know you could move it while kind of firing. All right, that's nice, because usually when you tell something to fire, you move it, it has to reposition itself, but the fact that it can kind of move while repositioning itself, that's a nice little ability to have. Volley fire, again, this is with the rear echelon squads, plus 40% received accuracy and minus 50% accuracy. And all right, so it will take more damage, minus 50, but it can't hit to save its life, but it will suppress. After 5 seconds being active, additional 1% accuracy and 3% accuracy. And then after 10 seconds of being active is additional plus 3% suppression, plus 4% accuracy, and minus 87% after cooldown. Okay. So again, the longer it does this for, the more likely you're going to suppress the unit. And the problem is, though, is your echelons, if they do this, better be in some good cover. Alright, now we're jumping in the vehicles. We have AP rounds for the M1 AT gun, that's plus 50% penetration. Okay, that's good to know. Again, that's the AT gun for the base AT that the Americans have. So nice. Again, it's plus 50% penetration. Slight increase by 75% in forward cone only, and plus 10% in range. Yeah, that makes sense. So essentially, you lose 75. How do I say this? Take aim, essentially, it narrows the cone but extends it and farther. So again, if there's an armored vehicle still in range, just a little farther out that you can hit one more time to kill, again, use the AP rounds and take aim and maybe you can kill it. So the AVAP rounds for the Jackson are plus 40% damage, plus 14% accuracy, and 15% penetration, while the Wolverine just has plus 30% accuracy, so it has a higher likelihood of hitting and plus 40% penetration, however, no damage. Okay, so Wolverine, it's it's a higher likelihood to hit and penetrate. It's just not going to do as much damage, whereas the Jackson rounds will do a lot more damage, but they're not going to increase in penetration and accuracy as much. And that makes sense because the Jackson is already such a high level AP shot that like increasing it by like 40% with accuracy would just be overkill. At least maybe that's what they're trying to balance out. With Wolverine, it's already has such a hard time penetrating because it is a weaker unit that they increase it exponentially, again, by the extra percentage, plus make sure it can hit so we can actually do that damage. Okay. Radio Net. All right, this is an ability I'm actually very curious about. So, 35 radius area, minus 10% reload. All right, so quicker reload, right? 5% sight per allied vehicle in the aura. So this times itself exponentially by amount in the area. These additional vehicles can be any allied unit, but at least one of them must be a Vet 1 Sherman. Okay, so maybe I'm just crazy here. So with the radio net, you could essentially have, you can have multiple allied vehicles. So let's say 3 Shermans, and it would be minus 30% reload and plus 15% sight. I'm assuming, because it says these additional vehicles can be allied unit. So, as well, you could have a Sherman and 2 T-34s from your allies, and that would increase it as well. I'm assuming, and this goes with any Sherman, so the 76 variant, the Bulldozer variant, the normal variant, yeah, so the Easy 8 variant, so yeah. That's very curious. That is very curious indeed. We have heat rounds. So again, these are special rounds you get with the howitzer. That's plus 100% damage, plus 250% penetration, and plus 100% range. And again, just a slight note. I know that it's not in this game because it's still front armor, but technically, let's say you have a tank and you fire a howitzer shot in the back, you could get a rear armor hit. That's absolutely happened, especially with an armored unit like facing this way and turns a little bit like this, and you have a tank shot that literally comes in the front and somehow manages to hit here, even though it's in the front. Typically it hits in the back and you're like, how the hell did they get a rear shot on my tank? Since it's in the howitzer, I wish they had front armor, like literally on top of the tank where a shot could go and hit it on top, but they don't have that. It's front and back. So the fact that it does increase damage and penetration so much is interesting, because especially if you get a back shot, that can be incredibly damaging, especially to light armor and even heavy armor. I think that's what Delta was doing actually in a game earlier today, so that's cool. HVAP round, skill shot plus 40% penetration, plus 80 damage, and can be fired in succession with normal attacks. Again, this is with the Persson unit, and this one is just additional rounds. So it does have better penetration and damage, and also you can fire in like quick shots with your normal rounds. So that's really cool, the fact that you can do that, especially if you're trying to kill a target. If you need to get one last round in, you can have a normal shot and then quickly fire this shot and maybe penetrate. That's cool. At least that's why I think that's what they mean by succession with normal shot or normal attacks. So next we have stun shot. This is absolutely with a Stuart, and apparently this is also with a Panzer IV, which I'm actually curious about because that's a Panzer IV model, but we're on the Americans. So is this like a captured Panzer IV? Yeah, it's curious to say the least. Not because, again, I'm curious to see what they mean by that. And the same thing with a point blank engine shot. They have the Panzer IV image there, so I'm curious if you steal a Panzer IV, the Americans unlock that ability or something. I'm assuming there's like a hidden unit or something. But anyway, so stun shot gets penetrating shells, block target vehicles' vision, and prevents them from firing for 5 seconds. So essentially, they can't do anything for 5 seconds. That could help your unit escape. I know a lot of people think the stun shot is great for like assaulting, and it can be good for like weakening targets so you can keep hitting it. But we can see here, minus 40% damage, or sorry, minus 40 damage and minus 50% reload time on Stuart's main gun. Okay, so it's basically like a one-at-a-time event to like stun a target, and it's not meant for really damage or anything, but again, it's like for escape attempts. Now, point blank engine, on the other hand, will always penetrate and cause normal engine damage. Minus 40 damage on Stuart's main gun. Wait, what? Oh, sorry, damaged. Okay, when the hit. Okay, that makes sense. You don't want it to be like an actual like true shot, especially if it always penetrates for it to do damage. step on it. Again, this for the last two was Stuart. This one is with the Jeep, and this military Jeep will have a maximum. Holy crap! Plus 75% maximum speed and plus 50% acceleration. So essentially, this thing's on the move. You're like going all over the place at maximum speed. That's cool. Overdrive. This is with the half track. I think that's the M3. I think it's the M3 half track. It could be wrong. I think there's an M3 and M5. I know that each one has their own specials. I think that's an M3. I could be very wrong, but it's a half track to say the least, where you can store men on. Minus 25% received accuracy, hard to hit. Increased acceleration, so faster to go to max speed. And occupants have minus 50% received accuracy. So anything inside the half track doesn't get hit. That's good. That's good, because last thing you want is the half track's hard to hit, but all your men inside, oh, they're easy to hit. Last but not least, we have Mark Target. This comes in with a deploys a recon plane with a targeted vehicles, receive minus 20% armor and plus 25 received accuracy. And this is once again with a Panzer IV and a recon plane. Huh. I'm actually kind of curious what the Mark Target would go for. Is there an ability or unit I'm missing that would have that for the Americans? I guess? Huh. Alright. Interesting to say the least, I'll say. I don't know offhand what that is. I might have to do a little bit of research on that before I release the video and kind of figure that out. But I don't know of a marked target that would affect vehicles. And it looks like it comes from a Panzer IV and a plane. So, once again, that one's kind of interesting. Maybe this is just throwing me off and they just didn't have the symbol for whatever it is. But again, I can try to do a little research before I release it. Alright, and now we have Raid Tactics, which is both infantry. Again, so infantry gain plus 7 sight during this ability. And allows all light vehicles to capture points. Increases light vehicles capture rate to 2.5%. I could be wrong. Isn't this ability, it's with Americans, with, what's it called? Recon support? Maybe I'm wrong with that statement. That's just because it's also with a Greyhound, it looks like. So that's why it kind of immediately goes to recon support. Because the Greyhound's a special unit within that ability. Combined arms, infantry, and proximity to friendly vehicles. This is with the cavalry, with like the Pershing and Rangers. Infantry in proximity to friendly vehicles gain minus 20% reload, so fast reload, 30% better accuracy, and 35% sight. While vehicles will gain plus 35% sight, minus 30% reload, and plus 5 range. All right, that's pretty good. That's again, it's nice to know because I always see combined arms from like, how much does that actually do? That's how much it does. That's really nice to see. Okay, so I guess we're now moving on to the Soviet Union. All right, so now we have the Soviet Union. Definitely didn't take a break right there. It was only a minute. I didn't do anything else. Definitely didn't watch anything. Nothing that came out right now. But yeah, you'll never guess if I did hypothetically do that, what it was. But in any case, let's get to it, shall we? Oorah! Squad sprint faster. Like I said, I would love to know how fast they move. It's just 100% increase or something along those lines. To the last man, 4% accuracy, minus 2% weapon cooldown, minus 3% received accuracy per member lost. Oh wow! So that's that can be amplified quite a bit to the last member. But in any case, Oorah is the conscript. To the last man is for penals. Button vehicle, that's for guards troops. Reduces target's vehicle sight is almost 0. Not quite, almost. Okay. Reduces speed by the rotation rate by 67%. Minus 50% deceleration. So it immediately slows them down. Disables weapons and plus 25% reload time. So again, it takes a lot longer. Just hampers the vehicle quite a bit. Hit the dirt. Again, this is for both guards and conscripts. Minus 10% received damage, minus 20% accuracy. Squads can't be suppressed and can't move. Okay, so this could be good for counteracting an MG. Maybe if you have, again, troops long range, especially with the guards that can fire their DPs long range to open fire. The problem is, even though they're taking less damage, they also, it looks like here they can't, their accuracy on them is also decreased. So that could be a big issue. But I mean, let's see, with the guards, you get 0.75 weapon cooldown, plus 2.5 range, and squads can't move. Okay, so they can be suppressed. Conscripts can't be. Okay, so never mind about the DPs. But with the conscripts, I might be just trying to get 1 or 2 more shots off on the MG to kill it. Sustained fire, this with the Maxim, plus 100% burst duration, minus 50% reload time, minus 50% weapon cooldown, and forces a reload at the beginning of the ability, cancels with no refund if the Maxim moves. Okay, so it just keeps going with that. That makes sense, because the Maxim is also quick on rotation and positioning, so that makes sense. Cat's coming in. We got the Dushka with armor-piercing rounds, plus 200% penetration, so yeah, the damage on it isn't increased, but it will penetrate light armor, and actually I think it will even do quite a bit of damage to even like light tanks and whatnot. So you may definitely want to watch out for these Dushka rounds. We got Fight to the Death. Targeted squad is given plus 20% weapon accuracy, and 0.5 cooldown, increases received accuracy by 20%. So this is for, I guess, base infantry. I'm curious what doctrine this goes for. Maybe I'm just an idiot, but I don't recall what infantry this goes for exactly. I don't know. That's oh, I know what it is now. Okay, it's with the new the conscript commander, because this one's stand your ground. Okay, so this is with the commissar commander that goes with conscripts. This is for the NKVD doctrine that calls in like the Overwatch artillery and a few other things. Yeah, so this one, he has minus 30% received accuracy, hard to hit, and less damage. Squad's movement speed is reduced. So again, you can't move very quickly, but they do that. And again, increases received accuracy by 20%. So again, I think stand your ground might be just overall a little bit better, because again, just helps the unit out. But hey, I mean, it could be, you know, this ability could be decent in some, you know, unique scenarios, just like trying to get one last kill, one last shot in. All right, now we're on the vehicles, and we got the Zis 3 Barrage. Okay, SU-76 and AT gun already have this. Makes sense. 80 damage, 40 damage respectively. Yeah, that makes sense because the AT gun is a lot more potent, more limited range, and both of them have an increase in range as well. So, okay, that makes sense. AT gun ambush, again, this is when I believe it's cloaked. Speed is heavily reduced by 80%. Reload time takes a little bit longer, or sorry, quicker, minus 25% reload. Yeah, so it's actually quicker. Never mind. 20% accuracy. Okay, that's good. And plus 20% penetration for the first shot. Okay, so like that first shot and then reload, that's when you're going to get it. Tank counter ambush tactics. No, by the way, this is for both the miniature AT gun, the 45mm, and the Zis 3. Tank counter ambush tactics. This is for the T-70, SU-76, the T-34, and the SU-85. And again, this goes with the tank hunter commander. It slows rotation by 80% when active. First strike bonus is, again, plus 20% accuracy, penetration, and 25% on reload. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. The problem would be with this is like having a tank destroyer and it facing straight and activating this. Yeah, it's ambushing, but if the enemy gets ambushed, you're pretty much dead. You're pretty much gonna have a rough time. Recon mode, again, this is for the capture ability and also increased sight, and that's only if it gets vet 1. Focus sight, half the speed, but again, you get a plus 40 on range. Straight forward, not around. Around, you'll get negative, which is why you also want to support it with infantry, so you can have additional recon. Tracking, okay, that's something that's always in these abilities. I'm so curious about. Plus 40% sight radius. Okay, so increase the sight radius by 40%. Will reveal enemy units and infantry out to 70 range in fog of war on the minimap. Okay, so you can detect them on the minimap on your screen. Good to know. Let's see. Now we have the M42 tracking. This is for the M42. It now provided a vision of hit vehicles for 10 seconds, even in fog of war. Oh, wait, isn't that... wait a second. Isn't that with the AT gun? Now provides vision for hit vehicles for 10 seconds. Or am I crazy? Or is that... It's, again, it has the Panzer IV model, so I'm not entirely sure what that means. Yeah, that's curious. Overdrive, minus 20%, 25% received accuracy, plus 60% acceleration. Again, just faster, you take less hits, makes sense. Piercing shot. Okay, so this is with the ISU-152. Skill shot, plus 50% penetration, so I'm more likely to hit. Keep in mind this ability uses the ISU-152's HE round weapon profile, not the AP round profile, so it can be used against the infantry to good effect. I did not know that. I thought it was only good against vehicles. This is assuming you hit, as the ability has a tendency to overshoot. Okay, yeah. I wonder if this is like the B4. We'll get to that with a more like a direct shot with that just never hits. And then of course we have crew repair. Crew will stop their vehicle and repair until health is full. Weapons are unavailable. Again, makes sense. We have set up the KV2. This increases reload range and its the range and minimum range. Okay, so it has to essentially it's that range that it can't fire gets a little bit bigger as well, and then it's a mobile. T-34 RAM, if successful, a 90% chance of engine damage and 5% chance of heavy engine damage, 3% chance of immobilization, or a 2% chance of main gun destroyed. Oh wow, okay. Here's the thing though about that. Every time I do, I wonder if this is also changes on the direction you hit it on, like from the rear. I always find a T-34 RAM from the on a rear of the tank doing a lot more than the front. Maybe that's just me, but we can see here that the engine will be damaged, which I call also BS on, because we know that I know from a fact when you ram something, it'll get shell shocked, but it won't. You know, it won't be crippled, but it looks like here there is a chance of heavy engine damage, and there's a chance of immobilization and even its main gun being destroyed, which I've never really seen, unless it must be so low on health or something, maybe. Let's see. So Mark Target. This is with commander abilities and auras. Mark Target, again, an ability that can be used against armor, and it's done by recon. Plus, maybe that's what it is. This means it will affect armored units, and this, I mean, it's going against this target. So it's going against enemy armor. It's designed for medium armor, not heavy. That could make sense. That could absolutely make sense. So this is designed for more medium tanks than heavy. Though, Mark Target's great for killing the heavies with, with lighter fare. Plus 35% damage to target vehicles, spawns an IL-2 recon plane, and gives line of sight to the marked target in that unit only. The plane can be shot down, denying the loss of sight, but the increased damage will still apply until the duration ends. Okay, that's good to know. So even if you shoot down the plane, the damage will still be in effect. Forward HQ. Again, this is with any the forward HQ bases for the one base. Again, the one commander. And this gives, again, plus 2.5 armor and plus 50% accuracy in infantry and machine guns near the area. Oh god, no wonder that's so annoying to deal with. And to the B4, wait, what? What? To the B4, to the Zis gun, and to the artillery. What? What? It does additional damage to the AT gun, mortars, and howitzers. What? For Mother Russia, plus 50% accuracy to squads will sprint. It's okay. So that's essentially the shock troops never miss a hit. Plus 50% to HMGs, and to mortars, Zis guns, and to the B4, it gives, again, because that's the B4's model. It looks like it gives a plus 25% accuracy to AT guns, mortars, and howitzers. What? What? So if you activate for Mother Russia, you increase the B4's accuracy by 25%. I did not know it affected the B4. I thought it only affected the, and also with AT guns. I thought it only affected infantry squads. Oh my god, that makes that, oh my god. That's, I mean, to people who don't use that, that's, wow. That's a whole nother way you could do that. If you really need to hit something with the B4, you activate for Mother Russia. That, fair play. Fair play. Again, I never knew it affected, I mean, like, maybe it's gone over. I just thought it was infantry, so it didn't really do much, but wow, okay. Yeah, it makes Maxims even better too. And it's, again, just accuracy, not damage. I think it used to do damage, but they decreased that. So, that's cool. Inspire, that goes with the KV2, and infantry will move faster and have the weapon cooldowns reduced by 20%. That's cool. We have Rapid Conscription. For every 6 infantry models lost during this ability, you gain a conscript squad. You may gain only 2 squads from this ability, and you need to lose 6 infantry models. Okay, so that makes this one a little bit worse compared to the Germans, because the Germans get 3, so, and this gets, what, 2 conscript squads? I guess that's okay. And yeah, no, you still get more Austruppen. This one, okay, that makes it a little bit worse. Vehicle detection, all infantry, but not team weapons can detect vehicles longer. And all right, that makes sense. Anyway, squads will have with fear propaganda against infantry and vehicle detection. It's used by infantry. Okay. Squads will have 25% of nothing, 35% chance of being slowed and taking 100% increased accuracy. Oh, wow. 30% chance of being suppressed and pinned, and 10% chance of being forced to retreat. So again, this is great against guns. And this is on a per shell basis. So the first shell, the barrage may do nothing, while the second may make the squad retreat. This ability only works on infantry. Don't even think about AT guns. And only if the tow mode while they are hit. Okay, that's cool. That is very cool. Again, some things you learned from this. And I hope you guys are learning a lot more. Again, this is off CH2 guides. Now we're on the OKW. We're on the Wehrmacht. We've done the Americans. We've done the Soviet. Now the other German faction. Medical supplies. So this one takes 30 seconds to heal. And this is also, I'm assuming by that characteristic is also by their base. So that like little like Lego piece, I'm assuming is by the medical base. And then next we have incendiary rounds. So this is 100% damage for 0.9 penetration. And yeah, 50% reload. That's, we already gone over this. Suppressive fire. I believe this is Vet 5 ability for the Opus Soldaten. Squad temporarily causes suppression during the duration of this ability. Maybe it's Vet 3. Maybe it's Vet 3. I thought it was Vet 5 maybe. Interesting. The Blend Corporate Grenade. Alright, this is always interesting because I always see this and I'm like, what does this thing really do? And this is by the heaviest of infantry. Blend Corporate Grenades will deal damage to infantry. It will disable weapons on any vehicle within the smoke, but only for as long as the vehicle remains there. Unlike USF Rifleman smoke. Okay, so maybe this is just me, but that probably means that again you could probably use this to, I'm assuming it still has sight and still has movement, so you throw it on a tank. It can't shoot, so this could be good for ambushing the biggest of allied heavy tanks, making sure they can't fire or do anything, and then opening fire or like rushing up them because they can't do anything. This field first aid, remember this one was for base infantry, so this is by the Sturm Pioneer squads, while this one is more with general infantry and the recon squads, and this takes 20 seconds. So the first aid will do a little bit different than the medical supplies, so that's an extra 10 seconds for a heads up. Again, sprint for 5 seconds. Sturm Officer Focus Fire, 50% received accuracy to target squad. All nearby squads prioritize that target. So it's only just, they take 50% more damage, that general infantry. Forced retreat, once again, by the officer to an infantry squad, and it will force the infantry squad to retreat. But other squads near them fight more effective. Oh! That's curious. I wonder how much they fight more effectively by. So you force a guy to retreat. If it's in a big blob of riflemen, you could boost that rifleman to where it doesn't have an effect. Oh, that's... Oh, okay. That could be bad. That could be very bad. Doesn't also say for how long. Anyway, we're on vehicles and team weapons now. And we are on signal relay. Automatically detects armored vehicles on the mini-map within 85 meter range of the vehicle. That's actually really far. Okay. Cautious movement. Again, those are the big the supply trucks that turn to your medical, mechanized, and Panzer headquarters. Cautious movement, and again, oh sorry, signal relay. I apologize. Signal relay. Duh, they removed that. It's now just on the scout vehicles. I thought it was on the one, but no, they changed that. Maybe I'm thinking of something else. No, I'm thinking of something else. Yes, I am. We'll get to that in a second. But that's on the scout vehicles that are in the No, it's in the elite armor doctrine. That's where it is. The Lukes and the Jagdpanzer can go camouflage and reduce the speed by 50%. It cannot take projectile damage, base damage while cloaked. What? So essentially you could cloak yourself. The enemy is literally firing at it, but you won't do any damage. Okay. Cool. And also it, again, doesn't do any additional damage when uncloaked. Suppressive fire. The Lukes reduces main gun by 50%. Lukes gets ability to suppress. Again, I think it's a Vet 5 ability or Vet. It's incredibly high. Aimed shot. Okay, so this is what I was referring to, and this is, I'm assuming, against these targets. So the Su-76, the Sherman, the Su-85, and the Stuart. So the aim shot will do something different per one, and again. The Puma will fire a single shot. Each of these are 1,000% accuracy, so incredibly likely to hit. Penetration, different story, but likely to hit. which will damage the engine of the light vehicle. Again, kind of stop it, so I guess that's what the light vehicles. Will stun the turretless vehicle, so I'm assuming that's on tank destroyers, maybe? It'll stop the tank destroyer from being able to turn. Or, sorry, turretless vehicles. So that's what it means by this. Which, the turret will lock, so it'll stun a vehicle that can't move its turret. It will lock the turret of one that can. And for Su-76s, it will be both stunned and have an engine damage. Wow, the poor Su-76. What it deserved to get that. Supporting fire, that's by the jrchicklis, will get 40% range and 25% medium range. Can't do it very close. Shots 3 HE, 5 shells when vet 1. Okay. World piercing is 25% reload, faster reload, and projectiles will penetrate all world objects. So just to give a basis of that, think of it as like a Pak-43 that can fire through anything. You essentially turn the jrchicklis into a Pak-43 shot, where it'll just shoot through buildings to hit your target. So that could be very good. Panzer Commander increases main gun accuracy by 10% and sight by 10. So it's very small, but still pretty good. I would probably assume that's close to the British. We'll get to them in a moment, but I'm assuming that's similar to that commander ability. We'll see. Unit may also call on off-map artillery, and that's for the Panzer IV, the Panther, and the jrchicklis, because again, they all have the turret guy up top. You can't put it on the Jagdpanzer or the Lukes. HE shells, again, that is on the Puma, the Jagdpanzer, the Panzer IV, the Panther, and the Tiger II. You get plus 30% penetration and plus 30% damage. And oh boy, again, just if you have not used heat shells, it can turn the tide real quick. Like if you give that sucker to a heavy tank, which I'm assuming you can give it to a jrchicklis. It doesn't show here, but I'm going to make the assumption you can. No, I'm sorry. Yeah, you probably can, because you could essentially decrew it. I'm assuming you can decrew it. By the way, if you don't know how to recrew a heavy tank, just ask Ace. And ask him how to use those Oswins, because goddamn, that's annoying. But anyway, yes, the armored vehicles you do get with that you don't cheat the system for, the King Tiger, the Panther, the Panzer IV, its shot against light medium armor is devastating. So again, if you're in a pinch, use these, and they'll help you turn the tide. Mark target, that's with the command tank, and it's also with something else. I'm assuming it's against Shermans, but I'm not entirely sure about that. Plus 25% damage and plus 50% accuracy to mark targets. So I'm assuming all targets, it's a better shot to hit that against it. Combat Blitz, again, we have medium and heavier stuff. And I believe, no, it's actually a little bit different. So this Combat Blitz, the OKW, it decreases received accuracy, so hard to hit, plus 40% speed and 25% rate of fire. So this one's a little bit different than the Wehrmacht Blitz. This Blitz will actually do a faster rate of fire, so it may be best to escape using Blitz with the Wehrmacht, but then go on the offensive with these Blitz abilities. Because if I recall correctly, and I can jump up and down. So if I go to Vehicles and Blitzkrieg Assault, yeah, it's absolutely. This one, it's just, it's a faster speed. It doesn't do anything else. All right then, that's really cool. And then if we go back to here, yeah, that one is absolutely more for combat. Okay, so for the OKW, if you're going to go after a last target, it makes sense to do this one, because not only you get the increased speed, but you get the increased rate of fire, plus 25% rate of fire, and 100% accuracy. So it makes sense with this to try to get that one last shot and then escape. Emergency repairs, unit cannot move or fire its main weapon. Heals 300 health over 10 seconds, so it takes 10 seconds. After a 3-second delay, it removes criticals. Cannot be canceled. Okay. So it will remove a crit, and it takes about 13 seconds in total. So just take a note that you have to protect that thing for 13 seconds if you use it. So be wary, otherwise it's not going to be able to move or anything. Spearhead, this is with the King Tiger. 50% sight and minus 25% speed. Hall as MG will also have a 2% suppression. What? Oh, that's cool. I didn't know that. That's really cool. Locks the King Tiger's turret to a frontal 90-degree arc. Again, that makes sense, kind of like this, where essentially it's just a 90-degree arc just in front of the tank. Now we go to auras. Sturm Officer Aura, plus 10% accuracy, minus 9% reload. Again, that's within the area. So that's why you'll literally see people like blobbing with this thing in the middle with like Volk squads and also dotting on the outside. Again, all affected squads retreat if the officer model dies. And again, out of like the 4 or 5 man squad, I think it's 5 man. No. Is it 4 or 5 man? I think it's 5 man squad because you have 4 guys and you have the Sturm Officer. I think. I could be wrong on that, but essentially one of them is the officer. If you somehow it's random how it dies unless it's like a grenade on the officer's model, which is a really cool feature. But yeah, if you kill that, they all run away. Breakthrough tactics, plus 200% decapture speed. Okay, Valiant Assault. So wait a second, does this mean that breakthrough for mobile defense is technically a little bit faster? Huh, good to know. Valiant Assault, plus 25% accurate. Okay, so then I can see why mobile defense is more likely if people use that ability for rapid decapture of points. At least a lot more. Valiant Assault, plus 25% accuracy, and squads will sprint. So it's very similar to For Mother Russia, just not as effective, because the other one's plus 50%. So you get 25% difference between the OKW and the Soviet. For the Fatherland, minus 35% received accuracy, and plus 15% speed to infantry in friendly territory. Again, this is another ability you get with certain commander. I believe this is Overwatch. Well, this one is for the Fallschirmjäger Doctrine, Luftwaffe Ground Forces. Minus 35% received, again, harder to hit, and speed. That's pretty good, but only in friendly territory. Only in friendly territory. So this is well, this one's great for attacking. This one's great for probably defending, I would say, and like trying to hold territory. Scavenger Artillery. For every 100 munition interval, you fire 5 more shells. Those extra shells are more accurate for each interval. Okay, so for every 100 munitions. Okay, this is an ability that always like threw me off, and I'm glad to finally see this kind of like an idea of this, because that means if you have 1,000 munitions, this thing could be devastating. But I think its ability costs what, 180? So and again, it's caused by an off-map artillery. So the extra shells are more accurate for each interval. So does that mean if you activate that ability, it counts how much munitions you have stored up, and then we'll just keep firing more? Curious. Curious indeed. Anyway, Command Panther Aura. So this is, again, the Aura. I don't think we saw no, we did see the Command Tank. But this one has it has a higher one vetted up and whatnot. So that's cool. So we can see here, it only affects armor for the first 4. Default is plus 10% speed and 20% sight radius. Then you get a 20% accuracy with Vet 2. You get oh my god, you get a 20% reload at Vet 3. You get a, let's see, a plus 5 weapon range to nearby vehicles. So again, that increases how far they can shoot. And at Vet 5, it now also boosts infantry with 20% accuracy and reload. Holy god, that's a really good buff. Again, that's a clear difference between just a minus 20% damage reduction. All right, now we're on to the British. We got Tank Hunter infantry section. So that is with the Tank Hunter. Not, I think it's just like the anti-tank focus, or it's some doctrine. I'm not as familiar with the British. Some of their names. Anyway, reveals vehicles on map at 90 range. Okay, cool. Smoke cover, that's for commandos. This one's for that special infantry section with the AT guns. Salvage Rex. This comes with those special engineer squads that can decommission resources. But wait a second. There's a difference here. And maybe that's just me. I didn't realize how big it was. So, okay, yeah. Finally, I have confirmation. My long time point of saying that Panthers, our advanced medium tanks, can finally be settled. I'm happy. I'm so happy. Advanced medium tanks. Yay me. So happy. Anyway, so we have the ultralight Kubel. That's 10 munitions, 5 fuel. 15 fuel, 10 for the light tanks. 20 to 25 for mediums. 35 to 30 for advanced mediums. 50 munitions and 40 fuel for heavies. 60 munitions and 45 fuel for the biggest tanks. That's per rec. That's a decent, again, that's a great income. I'm so curious. Is that the same for, wait, Hold on. I know that the OKW have an ability that they gain additional munitions for salvaging wrecks. You get like 5 fuel. These are so much more efficient. I wonder if that's why they have the recycling thing, because they're like, yeah, we're much more efficient with ours. But damn, I may have to play that doctrine now. This seems amazing by the amount of being. Like I said, I didn't know. I figured it was just like, why would you have an OKW ability for this special? I'm like, okay, a little bit more fuel. That's monumental if you get 60 munitions per wreck. Oh my god, that's great. Anyway, crit shots, stuns assault, and again, this is for Panzer IVs. Sorry, not Panzer IVs. This gets armored targets. I guess just armored targets in general from the sniper, the British sniper, because it's an armor-piercing shot. Stuns assault guns, turret locks tanks, and causes M damage to lighter vehicles. Okay, so you're not going to engine crit a big tank, but you can pin its gun. That's nice. All right, now we're on to vehicles and team weapons. We're almost done, guys. We're almost done. All right, so the brace emplacement, which is again the brace emplacement, which is 4 emplacements, minus 75% damage, increases armor by 5, and minus 75% for incoming repairs. What? So if you brace it, it can't repair. Oh, again, the more you know. That is very important, because if you're trying to keep that thing alive, it's incredibly dumb to repair it while it's braced then, because you're not doing it. It would probably be better to have those squads open fire upon the infantry that's actually doing the damage than quickly repairing. I mean, it'll do something, but it's incredibly minor. So, very interesting indeed. Improved fortification just is plus 10 armor and health. And for those who don't know, if you brace the structure, yeah, the armor will prevent gunfire from hurting it, and the same thing with, I'm assuming the improved fortification makes it immune to gunfire with that armor ability. But I'm assuming that's what it's trying to say as well, because I believe that improved fortification also comes with immunity to small arms fire. So does that mean that it just having that armor prevents it being hurt by small arms fire? Anyway, piercing shot, projectile will penetrate all world targets. Again, we'll just go through targets that you can easily destroy. Airburst shells will blind vehicles for 8 seconds, roughly doubled the AoE radius in distance. Okay. The universal carriers, vigorous machine gun. This is again the universal carrier has a flamethrower upgrade and a machine gun upgrade. You can do either one, and you get a little bit more suppression, plus 25% burst length, minus 20% accuracy, and 100% scatter. So it's pretty damn good against enemy targets. Target thread, first shot minus 60% speed. Wait, oh cool, so it actually can do 2 shots. Minus 70% rotation speed and minus 70% speed. So yeah, that's pretty damn good. And then second shot will mobilize it for 7 seconds. Okay, so but you need to hit that second shot with the armored car. And like I said, with the British, you either pick the armored car or you pick the Bofor. You can't have both. Unless you have 2 British, then you can have 1 of each. Any case, tank commander is plus 10% sight inaccuracy. That's similar to the OKW one. That's cool. Emergency war. I'm sorry, that's on the Cromwell, the Firefly, and the Comet. Okay. I'm assuming that also. I think it's also on the Churchill. I want to say, yeah. So maybe just heavier tanks. Emergency war speed. Minus 25% received accuracy. That's on the Comet by Royal Engineers, and also other armored vehicles the British have at their disposal. Just don't expect it on a Churchill, because once again, locked off in that focus or tree. Increased speed, increased acceleration. Royal Engineers may tune the vehicle's engine for usage, and they have to do that each and every time. Phosphorus round. Like other phosphorus rounds, these rounds will only reduce the health of a model to a minimum of 1. So they will not die per se, but infantry will not die from the smoke alone. Unlike similar abilities, however, it does not disable tank guns. It only blocks line of sight, forcing the enemy to use ground attack in order to use their gun. Okay, good to know. And that's the white phosphorus round you can get via, I think, Vet 1, I think it is. Valentine tank, because otherwise it's smoke. Which also why it's upgraded from that, because it'll just block the vehicle. Valentine observation. The Valentine is a special tank you get with the infantry company. No, not infantry company. That's with the Americans. So this is with the shoot. It has the sextant and all that stuff. I forget the name of it. But in any case, increases base unit sight by 50%, and the main gun is disabled until the Valentine is back to its normal mode. Okay, so don't expect to fire with it. Expect like infrared half track. That has a lot more armor. Hammer tracking. Again, this is with the hammer focus. And this would for vehicles. Enemy vehicles will stay revealed for 9.5 seconds after being hit by a British vehicle. The only applies to British vehicles after researching hammer. Again, you have to get that hammer upgrade. Tulip rockets. Firefly. Amazing. Because first rocket blinds vehicle for 8 seconds. Second rocket stuns vehicle for 2.5 seconds. So you have to hit both to get the special ability. And that's cool to know. I thought you only need one, but no. The first rocket just blinds the damn thing. The second one will stun it. Churchill, covering smoke. And yes, you can hit it once and then it like slows down or something runs into view and you only get one shot. Crew repair. I'm sorry. We're at Churchill covering smoke. Churchill creates a big smoke cloud behind itself for 10 seconds. Until the ability ends, the Churchill will be magnet for attack round. Yeah, pretty much. Essentially what will happen is it will go through. People can attack the ground in the smoke for it to hit it. Again, but it doesn't look like it reduces the speed anymore. So it used to reduce the speed of the vehicle. It doesn't look like it anymore. So you can just kind of back through it and just hopefully be hopeful that they suck at their shots or their, you know, like areas of attack. Crew repair operations. Crews, again, will heal themselves over time and they'll drop smoke on themselves so they can't see. But like I said, you can still be hit with a direct fire, aka attack round. Medical supplies. All right, so this is with the British infantry. They get the ability plus also the forward assembly base gets it. Squad will heal itself and all units within a radius of 10 for 30 seconds. So it takes 30 seconds to heal. If all healing recipients stay out of combat and close enough to the medical squad throughout this ability, this is enough time to heal any amount. Okay, good to know. Rapid maneuvers. This is just for the AT gun, the 6-pounder. This is a 25% rotation speed and acceleration deceleration. Okay, so it's just quicker to move around. Kind of, I guess, similar to the Maxim where it's very quick to replace itself. You just have that for an ability. All right, now we're speaking of commander abilities and auras. Heroic Charge. Affected squads. Again, this is with the shoot, I forget, airland officer, and you get this off a glider that you call in. It's a forward logistics base. Affected squads within 20 meters will sprint, so they're increased speed, minus 25% received accuracy, minus 20% cooldown, and plus 40% accuracy. That's pretty awesome. Again, because I feel like a lot of times they also think it's only commandos, but no, it looks like it affects all infantry, which is, if this is to be believed, would definitely help the British in more assaults. Because again, I did not know that. Advanced cover combat. Out of cover bonus, minus 20% reload normal cooldown. In cover bonus, minus 40% reload and minus 20% cooldown. So these guys, if they're in cover, oh my god, they are just, again, they are very, very deadly. Alright, but again, the British do better in cover, so just as a heads up. Command vehicle. This is, again, they have both the I guess this is to the command vehicle, this is to the infantry, and this is to other vehicles. So the command vehicle, I used to give it to the universal carrier, but they are like, nah, that's a little cheap. So now I give it to the armored car. It's not as expensive as a Cromwell, and, you know, the big thing about this is minus 50% accuracy, plus 100% cooldown, and plus 100% reload penalty. And Churchill AVRE ability reload also affected, which is why I don't like giving it to bigger, heavier tanks, because I find them become a little bit more useless. If I give it to an armored car or something like that, I can still use smoke and stuff like that to get it out to safety. So that's just my thought process. I believe you can still give it to the armored car. I want to say you can. But if maybe they change that, I want to say you can. Tell me if I'm wrong in the comments. I mean, you guys already do that. Infantry bonuses plus 20% accuracy, minus 20% cooldown, and minus 20% reload. All pretty damn good in my opinion. The vehicle bonus is minus 30% reload, minus 30% cooldown, plus 30% accuracy, and plus 15% penetration. I didn't know the penetration part. That's really good. Yeah, so have a command vehicle if you can. Really, it'll help you guys out. Now we got Hold the Line. This one is always an ability I saw and I'm like, this is very expensive. What does this do? So finally we got a little more description on this. Minus 20% received to all squads in friendly sector. Okay, so it'll make them harder to kill. After about 20-30 seconds, the RAF will send in a plane to attack every individual enemy unit. Wait, what? Everyone, for example, if your enemy has 10 units in your front line sector, then 10 Typhoons will come to attack each. Oh my god! If the enemy unit remains and continue to loiter around in the sector, then more Typhoons will continue to make single passes at individual units until the sector is clear, your frontline territory is lost contested, or the ability duration runs out. So again, you have to hold that point for those Typhoons to come in. And as long as you do so, you have to hold it for 20 seconds or 30. If you do that, you could have a dozen Typhoons flying in with, I'm assuming they adjust it either NG or AT depending on the unit. I'm just going to make that assumption because they say 10 Typhoons. There's 2 different variants. So if you have that much, holy mackerel. But I guess the issue is also it's in that sector. So you're going to want to do this in sectors with a lot of open area. There's some capture points that are literally the capture point and then it's just a little bit more. When there's other capture points that have a huge swath of territory. The best example would be for this would be like the Star on Steps would be a great example. Because you have like that entire hill is essentially a base of operations. Or another example for like a big swath of territory that can like really add up would be something like the what is it, like what's the map called? Oh, Lazarus Ambush, with like the fuel or something like that, where it is a big chunk of territory that you have that people usually try to rush for or push. If you have that, that can cause a lot of damage. And again, you could also use this in a choke point scenario, where as long as your men are holding and the enemy's funneling themselves through. An example would be like Red Ball Express, with like, again, the fuel point would probably be the big one, or like that area. If they try to go for that fuel, you could do this ability and just wreck them utterly. So, or even a point right in front or behind that area, because it apparently it hits that whole area. So that could be very good. Again, I like that. I really do. I really like that ability. Any case, good to know. Good to know. Assault operation plus 15% accuracy. This is for the commando doctrine. So infantry get 50% accuracy. All squads will have 25% speed as well, and can fire on the move. Typhoon aircraft will recon across the adjacent or frontline sectors to territory. The amount of aircraft depends on how many frontline sectors. So, example, if you have 8 frontline sectors, every single plane will fly directly overhead of that point. And then, so it's great for additional recon as well. So that, it doesn't say that, but it's really good for, oh, sorry, no, Typhoon aircraft will recon across adjacent. I'm sorry, my apologies. But it's really good in recon in for that sector. It's more like a straight line, but if you need to call it a commando bombing run, this is a good alternative. Air resupply operation. You get minus 50% reinforced time. Squad will sprint in and out of combat. That's for the infantry. Supplies. Squads will take these medical supply boxes and gain 15% accuracy and 13% received accuracy. So even if you don't need the medical supply, you grab that thing, you have a bonus. Okay, that's nice. The squads that picked it up will also heal for 30 seconds. If they enter combat, then the healing will cease. Okay, and again, 30 seconds for that. And that makes sense because it's in the package rather than like the med kit, which kind of fits with the OKW. All right, so now we have the raid operation. This is for certain British doctrines. I think this is in more than one. Vehicles can capture points and infantry capture points 100% faster. Okay, so raid operation. Oh, there we go. Smoke raid. That's the difference between the two. Okay, smoke raid also delivers smoke to target location. During the ability, infantry can camouflage while in cover. Light smoke drops in general vicinity of infantry every 15 seconds and plus 100% capture rate, but it doesn't have the vehicles. So technically, if you want to, you could rush up with this ability with armor and just decap a whole swath of territory. So that's pretty effective, and it seems like you do it even with the universal carrier, so that's good to know. All right, and let's see. I hope we have helps in the way that make you a more complete player. Yeah, I would say so. I would absolutely say so. There may be bonuses which are bugged, slightly misinterpreted, or do not work properly, but is currently intention of this guide to be reviewed after patches. If you see any more updates, I can let you know. All right, and I believe they have a comment section down here, right? Okay, they do. Awesome. And I do 100% want to give credit where credit's due. thank you, Plant Smasher, for writing this. Good job, Yukiko and Asiyagov for artwork. Again, I'm assuming they had to get artwork for every single one of these, so that can be a real long pain to do all that. So great job there. We have Ragnar the Gamer, Snake Eye, Lugi, Asinyago, and Yukiko, who edited this as well. So thank you guys so very much for editing this. This is absolutely going to help out the CH2 community and kind of help out with certain abilities. Like, again, that a lot of this is really good information. Now, I will say there are some things missing. And example that I can think of is, let's say we go to the Soviet. Let's go to the Soviet one real quick. There's no direct strike. Like, I'm looking here and I'm looking at all of them, and none of these have the B4 direct strike. I'm looking at them. I'm looking. Yep, none of them have the B4 direct strike. So obviously there are things missing from this. This isn't the end all be all, but you guys put enough of this together and help clarified a lot of different things on how things work, because again, the game doesn't communicate that as effectively as some of us want it to. Like the Typhoon Strafe, I didn't know. For Mother Russia, I didn't know. I thought that all things heal exactly the same speed. Now I know that there's a difference. Again, I feel like to a new player, this is also great for having a base understanding of a lot of these abilities, so that way when they go and see the units, they know what I'm talking about. Because I know in my how-to videos, I describe a lot of these abilities, but I don't go nearly into detail as this. So this is perfect. And like I said, I'll leave the description below for people to check out. So if you want to check out these guys, this page to know more information. And apparently you can also check out the veterancy. My only thing is though, is it did say that it wasn't updated since 2017. So just as an effect. And again, I would say that if you're gonna, I would say look over this, maybe look over the veterancy, but take note it has been updated in 2 years. So just as a heads up. But no, seriously, thank you guys for the great work. This is awesome and really, really does help flesh out. And again, this was just updated within the last day. So I highly recommend people check this out if you play Company of Heroes 2, so that way if you can learn more about your favorite doctrines and about abilities, because I guarantee you that people will that people will want to do this. Also, real quick, I know this is saying might please support ch2.org and disable your ad blocker. I don't have a ad blocker on. I honestly don't. I have WebRoot. Maybe that is detecting something bad, but I don't have ad blocker. That's weird. So I'm sorry, ECH2. I'll make sure I donate to Stormless for the tournaments and whatnot in the next one to pay you back. But in any case, guys, that's gonna be it. Again, thank you for your time. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this UH2 ability. Once again, thank you, Plant Smasher, for putting this all together. And yeah, I guess I'll see you guys next time in the next how-to video. Later, guys. Hello, everyone. Before I go, I want to give a special shout out to Patreon supporters Milam, WhiteHotD, Toussaint, Streakingwookie, sgtMcPain, Sebastian, Rifle, PyroShark, Onlyplayapples, LeShoe, Just Play Thomas, jrchicklis, JP Vaal, Josh, Joey G, Chofo, Chris Bailey, Ace, Tim, Nathan Angus, Leonard Liu, Jordan Savat, and Aaron Yee. Thank you all for your amazing support. You're all incredible. Thank you again, and I'll see you guys next time.